Okay, we have here a GE A35826. This is the radio that I refer to as the GEC model, which was came after the GEB, and that was a subsequence of the GEA, which was the Cybernet Mark 1. These radios were never much, they weren't really popular. They came at a high premium price back in the day. They were a bit quirky from the design of the A and B model GEs and the AM models, which had quite a good appeal to them. This one came with a downlight up the front here, the RF gain on a slider, rather than a lot of people were calling out for a mic gain on there. But overall, this radio has been a silent achiever. Some will have their own stories about what they think about the PA and the RX. After quite a bit of tuning work, referring to the service manual and your own knowledge, you can actually get these receiving extremely well, comparable to a Uniden or an AX144. I just leave them at that. 1969 finals, you know what they're capable of, and this is doing that. This was a refurbishment by myself where I did the front panel, sanded it, did repairs, all of that. This is an exceptionally good looking radio. All right, what have I done today? Well, we've had an inherent issue with crackling on this particular radio. A cap change was done at some time by somebody else. I've gone over it today with a view to doing a cap change and actually found dry joints. Also found that the 10694 crystal or 10240 crystal was very, very loose. So I repositioned that and a few of the others around here. Also found some components touching earth from the factory up here, and the soldering up here around the RF input stage was also lacking quite a bit. So I've gone over all of that. And what else? I'll turn the radio over. I've replaced one capacitor, which was a bit of a problem, which was, I'm just getting it in my hands, which was this Nicholson 2200 35 volt. Once I removed that and put in my 2200 50 volt, it cut down a lot of the crackling. The other thing I also noticed that when somebody tried to tidy this radio up before me, they had the mic lead taped into this loom, and it was picking up interference through the loom. So I removed it, lifted the loom, took the speaker out of the loom as well. That was also tied into the loom right up here as well. What else have I done? Oh yes, the rear input stage at the antenna, it's not that good at all. So I've added an earth strap from the antenna outer to the input shield. Also redid the connection here. There was hardly any solder in there. On top of that, the rear plug needed some work as well. And what work was that? Well, the internal, sorry about all this. The back of this, the plug itself, was quite corroded. This plug here. So I've polished that. That connector, and also spread the clamp on the centre. I've worked on this as well. So this is feeling a lot better, and the tests are showing less resistance. Alright, I've got it back onto the workbench. Or try to have this as where I start plugging an antenna into it, get it off the dummy load. Alright, just turn it on. It's an absolute storm outside. It's just pouring down with rain. There's a bit of DX coming in before. Alright, well it's certainly a lot better than what this radio was when I first started playing around with it this morning. And there's obviously still just something either in the PLL circuit or somewhere else. I can't find it at the moment because it's so intermittent. So it's some part that's starting to fail, and when it does, we'll be able to locate it. But at the moment, it's just intermittent. It's not like what it was before. So the symptoms before was as soon as you turned the radio on, you'd get an enormous amount of crackling for around about 2 or 3 minutes, and it would come up above the audio, and that was quite persistent. So as we can see, the radio today, it's quiet, as it should be. DX is starting to come in. We're on 35 lower sideband, of course, in Australia. But that's where it sits, this radio, and Steve will be very happy with that. And there we go. And just as I go off, it's going to do it. And then that'll be it for ages. All right. We'll keep plodding along. Remember, comment, like and subscribe. Do appreciate it. And there's the infamous GEC model. Cheers. There we go, Western Australia. Around about, 3,500 kilometres away.